Coming up next on the Jeff Crilley Show, there are so many executives in the country who are just wired, tired, they're stressed out. That's when they bring in a couple like my next guest. They are transformational experts. You're going to meet Mathew and Carly Koder next.
Many are predicting that the worst is yet to come, which is unfortunate, said one person here. Until now, they've enjoyed the reputation of being the nation's icebox.
Watched a burglar in his home this morning by webcam.
As a journalist of over 25 years, stories are what make my world turn.
Reporting live from the Dallas newsroom tonight, Jeff Crilley, Fox 4 News.
But in 2008, I took the jump from my familiar life and started a PR firm from my home.
We're talking about anyone with a camcorder like the one I'm using becomes a television network.
We started slowly growing the company, and we now have over 100 clients, and we've branched into the world of live digital broadcasting. I now own 8 different TV studios and have a huge team, and the stories that I now get to share are sometimes the most important of my life. Life has a funny way of coming around full circle. This is the Jeff Crilley Show.
Well, in corporate America, there's an old saying, it's lonely at the top. The CEO, president of a company can sometimes have nightmares, waking up in the middle of the night wondering if this is going to work or this is going to work. And sometimes they're stressed out of their mind. They have to be like that duck on the pond where their feet are going a million miles a minute, but on the top, they got to be cool, calm, and collected. But they could be taxing their body with that stress. To join us now to talk about this is Mathew and Carly Koder. They are transformational experts. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jeff. It's a pleasure to be here. We really thank you for having us.
Absolutely. Well, I want you to share a little bit of your background. So we'll start with you, Mathew. So what brought you to this stage where you can coach executives on, de-stressing and getting their body, mind, spirit in harmony?
That's a fantastic question, Jeff. As a person, I grew up in a lot of dysfunction and disorder, a very low income household, social welfare, surrounded by a lot of drug addiction, a lot of violence, a lot of chaos. And so, and that was how my central nervous system was curated and grown from the time that I was born until I really started this journey of that I'm on now at the age of 19.
Yes. And Carly, you joined the picture when?
About 8 years ago.
8 years ago. Tell us that part of the journey.
I was attending one of Matthew's seminars and my body felt very broken. I thought I was going to live the rest of my life in deep pain, and I kept going and coming back to his seminars, and we created a connection, and I really believed and felt the transformation in my own life and began an apprenticeship and learning all of these things so I could go out into the world and help the people that I care about and meet and connect with.
And staying with you, Carly, for a minute, I know you're passionate about just living life and a zest for life. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, I really love living life. I want to be able to experience all of life. I want to live a big life, and I want to live fully and abundantly, and living in a pain-filled body did not allow me to do that. And so, I want to remain open and curious and get to experience all that life has to offer. And I want to be a little love bomb walking through life and helping people.
I love that. And Mathew, you and I were visiting before the show. For many people, it's Groundhog Day. They're stressed out. They go to sleep. They wake up. They do it again. So talk about Groundhog Day and how do you course correct?
Yeah. So, I think every human being knows that suffering is a part of the human experience. And it is something that we spend a lot of time avoiding even looking at the depth of the pain that we carry. The heartbreak that you had in high school that is still sitting inside of your heart. The business partnership where the partner embezzled $250,000 or $1.5 million, or the dream software company that you have poured your whole life and energy into, and then it just implodes because it didn't have the right market fit. There's not a human being that isn't exposed to pain from the time that we come into this world until now. And so what happens is that emotional and mental energy gets stored in our system. When it goes unprocessed and unresolved, it then comes out in the form of emotional reactions. It creates clutter inside of the mind. It makes it very difficult for you to have sharper decision making. And so it can become very easy to just get on a hamster's wheel of distraction, waking up every day, going through the same motions, basically living. Your central nervous system is living inside of a state of survival mode. You're just waking up and trying to make it through to the end of the day. And even for a lot of founders and executives who are high achievers and high performers, it's just that their dream and their vision is so great that they're just literally hammering themselves through a nervous system that's continuously saying, no, we're almost on burnout. And if you look at their lives, most of them have often been on their first, second, or third marriage. If you look at their drinking and eating habits, it's reflecting of a person who is really experiencing an overabundance of internal emotional and mental pain, and they don't know what to do with it.
Wow. We've got some video, and I want you guys to narrate this because you're all about mind, body, spirit, and so much of the video content you're creating.
Yes. Okay. So this is me actually, and I know this looks like a really wonderful gymnastics movement, but on a deeper level here, what I am actually attempting to do is train my consciousness and train my attention, train my ability to hold my attention in a very specific shape in my mind and my heart. So we believe that there's no separation between the body and the mind, and it's very evident. You can actually see. So right here, this specific exercise is really forcing her to kind of confront how her mind and emotion works in very vulnerable states. So you'll notice that in order for her to be in this position, she actually has to be present with her attention in her feet and in her legs, and she's got to be really present to herself, how her heart is responding to this difficult situation, right? And so, as founders, as executives, we're holding the weight of responsibility all the time. Desire does not come without responsibility. It has a weight to it. And so this is a way of actually training your central nervous system to be able to hold a greater capacity of responsibility without collapsing under that weight.
Yes, and you call it body mechanics, and that's important as a solution for these executives that you're coaching.
Yes, it's a term really just meant to represent. If you thought of your human system like a machine, and you're like, okay, if you went to an auto repair shop, the first thing that a mechanic he would start to diagnose the problem, and then he would provide you with the solution, like, oh, your alternator needs fixed. Similarly, this is an organic machine. It has an actual mechanistic nature to it. And once you start to understand how the mechanism of your system is working, then you can actually really transform yourself from the inside out.
Yes. So I love when couples work together to give the couple a chance to complement each other. So why don't we start with you? And Mathew, what does Carly bring to the team that's so exceptional?
Willingness. I mean, if you want to have A players on your team, you need people that are ready to play full out and to be willing. And she is so ready and willing to jump into the unknown and to embrace what happens. And I would also say she is very highly skilled at turning pain into a possibility, into alchemizing all of the situations that we go through and turning them into something wonderful. We can never really predict a lot of times what's going to happen in a moment, but she's very adaptable. And that's reflected in her body. She's flexible. So she can really be in tune and meet the needs of a moment. As a teammate, when you're in the game, you need somebody who can adjust to the plays that are on the field.
Yes.
And to be able to hold when things go wrong, emotionally, mentally. So she has that.
Right before the show, you compared her to Mother Teresa. So I'll let you finish that analogy.
Well, it's really reflective of just the love that pours out of her heart, and love to me a lot of times is also an expression of how sensitive we feel the sorrow of others. They say with great wisdom comes great sorrow, right? And so she's a very sensitive soul, and she can't look out into the world and see all of this pain and not respond to it. She can't see a hungry person and say, you know what, I'm just going to let them continue to go hungry. She can't see a person crying and go, you know, I'm going to leave them unsolaced and uncomforted. She can't see a person walking in pain and go, oh, you know, I guess they're just going to need to figure it out. The way her heart is designed, she goes, you know, I want to jump in there. I want to help alleviate that pain. I think it's just one of the most beautiful things about her, you know. It's just really wonderful.
That was so sweet. I hope we haven't embarrassed you too much, Carly. Okay, but same question for you. What's Mathew's genius?
I would really say your strength to endure, to grow, to run into the fire for anything, for us, for your family, for your business, for our community, for the world. You are eager to fulfill your mission, and you have a lot of strength everywhere. That really provides for my life experience and our business and our relationship and our family, and yeah, everyone gets to feel your strength in a lot of ways.
Wow. Well, I can see why you guys are so successful. Why don't we end with you, Mathew? We've got about 2 minutes left, so why don't you look into the camera on your left, talking to the executive who knows you just described them, and they probably need to engage you guys.
Yeah, you know, I think, and I want to reach out to you right now from the bottom of my heart, and I want you to understand that the silent suffering, right? The successful on paper, but secretly miserable, you already know you're not living right. You know it. You can feel it. You know it every time you reach for that thing that quietly comforts that pain that you're not addressing. You know all the things that you're avoiding. You can feel what you're going through. And I got to tell you, it doesn't have to be that way. It can completely be different. And it's just a skill set. That's all. You're not bad. You're not wrong. You just haven't been given the right information and the right training. That's all. And you can do it. If anybody can do it, I know you can do it. But you don't have to live in suffering and in pain forever. You can take that pain and you can grab it by the throat and make it a part of your army. You know, these things that we experience, depression, anxiety, sadness, sorrow, we can make them work for us.
Yes.
They don't have to rule us. We can actually take these very valuable experiences and extract all the wisdom from them and you can become a better person as a consequence, a greater founder, and hold more, so that that dream that you're holding in your heart, that ache that you would walk over fire for, that you would run through a wall for, you can stop feeling like you're stuck and you can start feeling like you're actually running in the direction of that dream.
Wow, such a powerful testimony. Thank you so much. I can see why you guys are so successful. We're going to end with the website. We're going to put that on the screen. Thank you so much, Mathew and Carly Koder. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you so much, Jeff. This is a pleasure.
That's it for now. We'll see you next time.